Hello, collectors. Welcome back to For Collectors. I have got another episode of 5 cards that every collector should own. I am John, the 3D 80s kid, your host, and I have got with me another group of 3 great collectors to join me to provide what they think are the 5 cards that every collector should own. So stick around. Welcome to For Collectors. All right, so we're back with another episode. If you haven't seen episode 1 or 2 of this series, I have linked them down below, so go ahead and check those out. And we are using the same ground rules here of I've asked them all to pick 4 cards from their collection that are valued at this point for someone to get their own copy now at $100 or less. You know, sometimes they'll be right on the border and come really close. So don't be, nitpicking them slightly breaking the rules here, but it's all for fun. You know, we're providing lots of cool cards, maybe suggestions, maybe there'll be something you see that you do want to get. So, then after those 4 cards, it will be the big card that will be something where I said there's no limitation on value, and you can pick something that you view is worth it to somebody to potentially save up to buy that card because it is that cool. So, but then also, like I've said before, anyone in the community, if you want to be on one of these episodes in the future, you are welcome. Please email me at forcollectors@yahoo.com. That is FOUR collectors@yahoo.com. I've probably already put it up on the screen by now, but you send me that email and you will get in the queue of folks who are excited to be a part of this. And I welcome everybody. You can have a channel. If you don't have a channel, I don't care. If you are a collector that's excited about your collection, I'd love to have you on screen. So without further delay, let me start bringing on the great folks. I have got a couple folks that did send me email to get on the screen, and another one who texted me over and over and over again because he was so excited. So let's first bring on one of our emailers, David, Three Rivers Card Collector. Welcome to For Collectors.
Hey, John. Thanks for having me.
Oh, thanks for joining. I am happy that you volunteered for this, and look forward to seeing what you present. Even though you're another Pittsburgh guy like Theo, so we'll take you anyways.
Represent.
All right, another one of our emailers is Scott, known as Big Harv, who has a channel that's a bit less inactive. I also mentioned David does have a channel. Links for both will be down below. But thank you for coming on, Scott.
Great, thanks for having me. Glad to be here.
Yeah, maybe this will inspire you to make videos a little more often too, huh?
I might have to think about that.
All right. So the last guy is someone I am sure if you're watching For Collectors, you have seen before. He is one of the most jubilant people in our community. Let me just say his enthusiasm is infectious. Dylan, Double D Vintage Baseball Cards.
Hey guys, John, David, Scott. Stoked to be here. I'm excited.
Yeah, double shock out to you, Dylan. All right.
Thanks, John.
So, once again, our criteria: 4 cards, less than $100 that you love and are happy to present to others. So let's start seeing some awesome cards. We'll go to our alternate display mode of this one here. Let me get David with the first card. You're up.
I was thinking about using this as an opportunity to hype up some cards I'm trying to sell to drive those prices up. But we went classic. So first one, back in 2023, MLB did the World Baseball Classic. It was the first one since 2017. And if you're just a baseball purist, it was a great tournament. all the teams had really good participation from all the stars in MLB. And it came down to one of the greater moments in recent baseball history of Shohei Ohtani striking out Mike Trout for Japan to win the championship. And Topps now made a card immortalizing that. So we're starting out the gate ultra modern here. I'm prepared to lose the couple subscribers I have.
Or gain, you never know.
Who knows? But a great card of baseball history here, and you can get these right around $20. So why get a blaster with a bunch of cards you might not want when you can get one like that?
Well, there you go. 2 modern legends on a single card. So
Hold on, before we move on, David, that card's sick. I have it on my wall. I'm looking at it. And then also I know the exact moment when that happened. I was digging up a pond out and I had my iPad set up. I was all muddy. And I remember that moment. And then I saw Mangini shared that card. And I was like, oh my gosh, that's insane. So I bought 2 for, it was like 2 for $10 just after they, it was a while after. Sent them in and they came back 10s. So I sold one and I kept one. I would never send that card again, but that is a spectacular card. Way to start off with a bang, in my opinion.
Yeah, I actually have that same card too, and it's downstairs. So that is a great card. There's also a Topps Now version too that's similar.
well, there you go. You got double D seal of approval. You
Yeah,
can't
wait,
beat that.
what? Wait, so which one's that? That's not the Topps Now? That's
No,
not the
that-
Topps
This one is the Topps. This is the
Oh, is that
Topps
the Topps
Now one.
Yeah, that's the Topps Now
yeah.
one. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, those
And
are
it's
the
cool
ones
too. It's cool too because both guys sign like currently, like pretty actively. So if you're the kind of guy that seeks out autograph opportunities, you can get that dual signed by both of them.
That'd be sick. And didn't they gift those to each other as well? Ohtani and Trout signed some personally, and they gifted them to each other, I
Yeah,
believe.
it's pretty cool.
Mhm.
All right.
Well, dude, I thought this was a competition, and now I might be losing.
I never said this is a competition, Dylan, but all right, Scott, let's see what your first offering is.
All right. So I am a Northern California guy, and I have one that is very familiar to a lot of us, but the 85 401 Mark McGwire that definitely I think everyone should have just because it's a classic. And I would even go contrary to Blue Jacket 66. I would say it's an iconic card. So this is one that I think everyone definitely has. This happens to be an 8. I think I've got half the grades available because I primarily collect McGwire as one of my main PCs. So that's one that I think everyone needs to have and is just one of those cards that everybody sees all over the place.
Oh yeah, if you're going to name top 10 iconic cards of the 80s, it's definitely high on that list. So easily. But
Yeah, I love that card. That's
I
I mean,
actually
one of
don't
the
have that
old
one
school
yet.
pillars of the community. It's a very channel name. So
Yeah, well, give a shout out to Nate up. He's actually only about an hour and a half from me too, so maybe 2 hours.
That's awesome.
We get together
yeah,
often at shows when we can.
great choice. All right, Dylan, here you go.
Okay, so how I went about this whole process, I spent a lot of time, as you know, thinking about this, and I came up with how I'm going to represent the 5 cards, and it's more not about my individual cards that I have from my collection, but what you guys could do at home, because I love these mini collection themes. And so what I did was I have a favorite all-time record that I just love, the home run record. And I have all these cards, and I've gone down this path of these. So I thought I would share how you could collect like your favorite player in different versions of their cards. And this happens to have it be one of my all-time favorite players and my favorite record of all time. And that first card that has to do with that is the Roger Maris 1961 Topps card, where he hit 61 home runs. And this card is very affordable. This is, so what I did is I added up when I put all the cards together. The total cost me $287 for the 4 cards. So, that's whatever each one costs, you can get all these cards affordably. Man, I just love this card. It's probably one of my favorite all-time base cards ever. I mean, at any given right now, it's my favorite one of all time as I look at it all the time. So there we go. My first card, Roger Maris, base card of this set, of this collection I'm sharing with you guys. And it is of the home run record from 1961. There we go.
Awesome choice. That's, yeah.
Thank you.
Classic connection with the year and the player there. So
Yes.
Great choice.
All right. So I know I've already done 10 cards, but I'm just going to keep things going and keep showing cards that fit into this criteria. So I am going to start out with a really special card thanks to one of the guests here. And it is also right up his alley because I know he loves combo cards. And this happens to be a card that came from Hawaii, in fact. And that is the Hank Aaron Willie Mays 1964 Topps combo card, Topps in the National League. I know at the time I bought it off of eBay that it was kind of in the vintage peak, so I ended up spending like 70 on it, but I'm pretty sure in this grade transacts more closer to 40 to 50 these days. So
Ooh, good timing for me.
yeah. This one is extra special with its origin story. So yeah, the only card I purchased from Dylan. So
Okay, John, first and foremost, yeah, when I sold that card, that was one I was very hesitant to sell because that has really nice centering, not perfect, and is the only time I've ever owned that card. It's like one of the sickest combo cards ever. I have yet to find one to my liking, and this reminds me to go hunting. But what else is cool, John, is that in my first round of 5 cards that I chose, I picked the one I won off of you, the Willie McCovey and Willie Mays Topps 1964. And only reason I decided to put it back and go a different route is because it was in a case that I didn't want to disturb because I have to take this giant glass off. And that's why I didn't. So I love it, dude. Thanks for sharing that. That's sick to see again.
Well, it's a great card. I mean, you got the 2 best players of that era, really, on one card. So how can you beat that? So, with probably the best all-around player talent of all time right there on the right there. So,
well, sorry, guys. John just took the lead. So, first place right now, John. David second. I don't know.
Not a competition, by the way, folks. Not a competition.
Oh, it's not? Shoot.
All right, David, card number 2.
So my second pick, decided to combine 2 of my passions, Pittsburgh sports and hockey. And I went with the Jaromir Jagr rookie card from 1990 OPG Premium. If you're looking to get into collecting hockey cards, this is one of the more iconic rookie cards. And if you don't know at all who Jagr is, all rookie team. He was a 1-time Hart Trophy winner, which is the MVP of the NHL. 5-time Art Ross Trophy winner for the most points in a season. He was a 2-time Stanley Cup champ with my Penguins, and he ranks 3rd all-time in goals so far with 766, and 2nd all-time in points with 1,921. So definitely one of the greatest hockey players of all time. He's got that iconic mullet. And you can get, I have a 10.
40s in the NHL, and isn't he practically still playing somewhere in Europe?
He's still playing in Czech, but I think he's kind of finally phasing himself out. But I have a 10, which is a little over $100, but you can get a 9 for right around 30 or 40 bucks.
Oh, yeah. It's from that era where 10s are the valuable, and then it's almost like 9s and 8s are trash in people's opinions. So, yeah.
Dude, that's a super iconic card. I collected hockey during that phase of that card. And what I was going to ask you, David, what year was that? I wrote down the rest of the information because I want that card.
It's going to be 89-90, right?
This is 90. I believe it's 90-91.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because Yeah,
Hockey
That
that
was-
was the year I went crazy and I actually bought hockey packs, even though I didn't even follow hockey.
That was roller hockey time. That was strapping your lightnings on and going street hockey. That was that zone for me, dude. That's
So I have a
sick
few as
picture.
upper deck rookies and score rookies, but
Oh yeah, all his rookies are cheap if you get them in like anything not a 10, and they're all
Yeah.
great pictures too.
I'm gonna buy that one raw and just put it in a slab because I need that card. I've had it before, and that's a classic. Good reminder.
well, everything I learned from about hockey was mostly from playing Sega. So
Oh,
he was really good at doing the one-timers on the
Yep.
Sega game. So
so good.
all
NHL.
right.
NHL, is that the one you played?
Yeah, I started with NHL 94, I think was my first year with a Sega, and then also NHL 95. So
Now you're making me feel old because I was old school Blades of Steel.
all right. Well, I was in college when I got a Sega, so but all right. Let's go with Scott's second card.
All right, I actually have a representative type of card because one thing that I think collectors should do is definitely look at themselves personally when they're picking up cards. So I actually picked up in these there's actually going to be two cards that represent one concept. I was a track athlete. I was a shot put, discus, hammer thrower in college. And the college I went to, this gentleman, see if it'll show up with the glare, was a star pitcher there after I graduated. Sorry, the glare is bad. It's Joe Ryan, who's now with the Twins. So he represents the university I went to, and then the greatest shot putter in history, Ryan Krauser, who won his third straight gold medal this past year. So these are just ones that represent me, and that's why I picked those two as kind of one concept for a card that everybody should have. It's something that comes to you. I mean, I had some others. Another player that went to the university I went to was one of the iconic names in baseball history, Rusty Kuntz. Those are our two major leaguers that have made it out of Stanislaus State in Central California. And then
I think most people intentionally mispronounce that last name.
They do. And it is funny when you mispronounce it. And then also Xavier Nady, he would come in when I was in junior college to our training room a lot of times. So, because he was right down the street going to high school. But those two, Ryan Krauser and Joe Ryan, just happen to have a connection to me in some way, shape, or form. So more of the concept of just something that means something to you and you can call back to is something that I thought is an important card to have.
Yep, good choices there. Definitely agree with that sentiment. So
they got
all
some
right.
I've got
surfing guys in that set as well, Scott, which is pretty sick.
Yeah.
The Topps Chrome Olympic set. It's an awesome set.
I've got a little side PC of guys that graduated from Old Dominion. That's where I went to school too. And it's not too many people like yours, so it's cool to have a couple of those cards sitting around.
Yeah, my last video on my own channel, I happened to show my collection of Michael Olowokandi cards because he went to my college. And I started collecting his rookies, of which there's 150 unique ones from 1998, and I've got like 65. So
yeah, and you showed all 65 on your channel too.
Yeah, I did fast forward though, so I did help people out.
Thank you. Okay, my turn. All right, so same theme.
Yeah.
Scott, same type of thing. My entire thing is connected to an event in history, to baseball cards themselves. So I want an all-star. So I got a base card, and everyone should have an all-star card of their favorite player or however they want to represent it. You should have an all-star card. And this is the 1961 Sporting News, Roger Maris, another stony eyes. I just love Roger Maris's intense face. Just that's how he was then. He was really he's really intense. He was an intense person, but he was a very, very kind man. He was just known by the press to be intense.
Oh yeah, that's why he wasn't exactly the fan favorite like Mickey started becoming.
Yep. So that's what I got. So now you got your base card and you got your all-star card, and they both represent the home run record. So I love this collection, and I put myself back in first place.
Those all-star
All
cards
right.
are so underappreciated.
They are. They're magical cards.
All right. I decided my theme today was kind of big sluggers. So and this one here, I just love how beautiful the shot is. So and it just so happens that I got this one in this grade for only $31, and that is this Dave Winfield's 1976 Tops, where he's got the big swing and a gorgeous blue sky behind him. But if you do happen to want, a 10 of this card, a PSA 10 recently sold for $4,000. So
no way, joke.
Yeah, the registry is a fun game people play. So
oh my gosh,
you can have this in an 8 for $30, or excuse me, 31. So, or you can have a 10 for $4,000. Take your pick.
Yeah.
So,
and yours is probably what, 5% more off center than that 10?
If that.
Yeah.
They're probably almost the same. I mean, I need the magnification to tell the difference. So, but
looks the same.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice card. I love it.
All right, David, card number 3.
Don't let us down, David. Your first two are fire. Let's go.
My third one, I know John at least likes it because I can see it on his wall behind him. But to be able to get a pre-war Hall of Famer who's considered a top 5 shortstop of all time for under $100 is crazy to me. This is the 39 play ball Arky Vaughan, which is my favorite card of his. So Arky Vaughan, when you think of shortstops in Pittsburgh, you kind of go right to Honus Wagner. But Arky Vaughan is very good as well. 2,000 hits, 318 career batting average. He had a 136 career OPS plus with 77.9 WAR. And in 1935, he had one of the greatest hitting seasons of all time for a shortstop. He had a 9.8 WAR, 385 batting average. Just phenomenal top 5 shortstop of all time.
Oh yeah, he is so shockingly forgotten because he was good.
Have you guys read the Joe Pisnanski's Top 100 book? Okay, well, I highly recommend it. It's absolutely unbelievable, and I believe he puts him in the top 100. I think not at the bottom either. So.
Oh yeah, he deserves it because
my memory serves me right.
I was starting to figure out if I'm ready to start doing like position rankings. Like, do I have all the cards yet for guys? And finding out where the holes were and looking at shortstops. I agree. He's like the number 5 shortstop probably of all time. So the fact that he's just like forgotten is a crime. So it seems to be a lot common though with the 30s era guys. I don't know. So
you really gotta have been the best back then for that to be passed down through generations. I just think that's the struggle for those guys.
Yeah, I think it was, if you weren't in New York, nobody cared. It seemed like in the 30s.
Yeah, I suppose without that T206 card, Honus Wagner wouldn't be that much of a name either. So
no.
In this set in general, because of how simple it is, you can get low grade, high eye appeal cards all day long in this set. So anything under a 5 with this is under $100. You can get a 2 that probably looks the same as this 4.
Oh yeah,
good old black and white cards, man. You really can go low on those grades and get one that knocks it out of the park, because the color differences is all you're really looking for, right? The real dark blacks and it doesn't matter if it's a 9 or a 2. The color differences, you could find one that's brighter in the lower grades even. So yeah.
I love the 39 play ball. Actually, the lefty Gomez I originally bought a 5, and then I downgraded to a 2.5 because the picture quality is still just as good looking to me. So
totally.
But all right, Scott, you're up.
All right. So I like things that are a little bit off the wall sometimes. So I went with probably the most off the wall pitcher we've had in the last 50 years with Mark Fidrich. This happens to be the claw sticker. The 77, the All-Star are basically the same picture for everything. And then the regular card is just the same card without the, and you can pick this up for $20, and I have a collector grade of 7, so it's there. And he was a great pitcher for 3 or 4 years. Little different and yelling at the ball, fixing the mound with his hands and doing stuff that was just not really seen back in the 70s. But he was definitely a character for that period of time that he was in the league.
He was a crazy
He's classic.
character for sure. And yeah, he had that some massive seasons. So it couldn't sustain it. So
And his cards aren't like cheap. Like the rookie card with the cup on it, same year. It's not cheap. It's crazy. I mean, it's cheap enough, but you'd imagine it'd be like $4, like almost a common. But he was pretty good for quite some time. Got real famous.
yeah, he's got some notoriety, at least for the non-Hall of Famers, where the rookie still gets some notice.
Name is carrying him, and kind of the legend is carrying him a little bit more than the actual over his career.
And just how wacky he was that he stood out. I mean, it's one of those cases where story contributes to price, really, too. So
100%.
Yeah. All right. Good pick. Dylan. All right.
Next up, same theme. This one represents the actual 61 home runs. And it's my favorite type of card there possibly is. Combo card. And this is the 1962 Topps home run leaders. And of course, it's got my guy, Mickey Mantle, on there. Roger Maris, no doubt. I love this card. It's like, I think it's the greatest leaders card of all time, in my personal opinion. And I would say the greatest, well, it's hard to say greatest combo card because there's some great ones, but leaders card, this is the one for me. I love that it tells the story of the season before on leaders cards. I think it adds to your collection, and when you put them in a binder and you put them side by side, like I will right here, it's extra special to me, and I love them. And you can get them so inexpensive. Nobody wants them, and I do. Although they've come up, people, since the last 3 years, I've noticed a difference for some leaders cards. They're definitely more than I was paying during the pandemic. Nobody wanted them. But that's what I got.
Yeah, I'm glad those leader cards have actually even come back in the modern stuff too in the last few years, because it's a great way to just kind of get the history of the game for that year in a card.
100%.
But
do
they do the floating heads in the modern cards? Because that's the element we're missing.
Floating heads are the best, and I don't get why people don't love it. They probably had to hand cut each head out back in the day and put it on that. Like, I can't even imagine how they design these things. The 63s are so sick, and same thing. This is just magic.
I'm actually gonna grab something real quick I can show.
There we go.
Boom. All right, bonus card.
It's not a card, actually. My wife's parents did art for advertising, so we actually have some of it framed, and they would literally take these. You would cut them out, put them on actually a board with wax on the bottom, and that's how they make ads. So
that's awesome.
To have hanging up in our office here. So, but yeah, it's like this happens to have connection to my wife because it was her grandparents that literally did those drawings.
Dude, cool. I love that. My wife would love that because my wife's a graphic designer. She did it, she's done it forever for the last 15 years. So that's awesome.
All right. Yes, everybody loves the floating heads, especially with the new 4 collectors card.
Yeah, there we go. I forgot.
Will be available soon. So we're bringing a ton of them to Strongsville. I'm sure we'll bring a ton to National. And we'll probably be mailing some out with Hobby Palooza in the future. But we enjoy the floating heads. We think it's a fun
It's super
fun look.
Such a
So-
cool look. Such a cool design. Oh, stoked you guys use that one. That's a great one.
Yeah, this was modeled after the 62 Tops Rookie Parade card.
Yeah.
Is what this, yeah. Which I even styled the back to use the similar font styles as well. So,
way to
That's
go.
sweet.
it's not focusing, is it? Come on, focus.
Does
There
that
we
make
go.
the old forehead? Does that make the old forehead design a vintage card now?
Yeah.
It does. Hey, quick question, John. What are you using to film right now?
As far as
Computer?
camera or
camera. What are you? Yeah, what are you using?
I just have this Logi like USB plug-in, simple, basic laptop camera.
Okay.
So
it's on your laptop, little hole in the laptop, like a. It's so clear.
Oh, it's a separate plug-in camera. See, I'll
it is.
pick it up and move it around.
Oh, okay. So it's wired to
Screen
the back
plus
of the
up.
computer. Okay. Well, is that I have one and I gotta practice with it because your quality showing the cards is like spot on.
Oh yeah, it's a lot better than the basic laptop cameras, and one like this is still pretty cheap. 30 to 40 bucks maybe.
Okay. Sick. Well, thanks for answering that.
Yeah. It makes a huge difference over just the basic one embedded in a laptop. So
yeah.
My next card is a later card in his career, so that's where it can still fit within this criteria of less than $100. And I love it because he is all smiles, and that is the big slugger, Mr. Ernie Banks here. This 1968 Topps card, which even in a 5 grade is still, we're talking 50-ish or even less, depending on what auction you win.
That's a nice one right there you got, John.
So.
That's one of his best cards, although Ernie Banks is like so many good cards, but I love that card.
Yeah, he's one of your more photogenic Hall of Famers.
Yeah, I don't know if Ernie Banks made a bad card.
Yeah, I don't think he does. I can't think of one off the top of my head.
Always smiling.
Gotta love that one.
I'm grabbing one, John.
All right.
For later. I'll show you.
What? You have one on hand there, Dylan? You're going to pull a bonus card for us here?
No. You do what you're doing.
All right. Then, David, you're up next for card number 4.
So this one's a little more of a wild card choice. So it's not a specific player, but it's a set. We're going back to Ultra Modern. And in 2021, Bowman's Best, they have a heat wave insert. And if you get the atomic parallel, like the design's supposed to look like the card's kind of on fire. But I don't know if the light's going to pick it up. But the atomic shine almost like actually amplifies that burning look on the edges.
Yeah, so it's die cut and refractorish.
That's a great set.
Yeah.
Well, David, I wish you had John's camera right now so I could really get the effect of that card.
So we had some technical difficulties, and we are back, and I cut that out so you don't have to see how that drug out. And up next with his 4th card is Scott. So here we go, Scott.
All right, so I have a graded one coming, but this is definitely one that I think everyone needs to have with the gun show from Ted Kluszewski, the big clue there. And I have a graded version coming, but it hasn't arrived yet. The eBay shipper was definitely not on the ball on that one, so had to use my raw version. So that's one that I think it's another person was a big name and not a Hall of Famer, but Hall of Very Good. So everybody should have the gun show card for sure.
Oh, absolutely. Hall of Fame biceps. There we go.
50s, that's amazing.
It's a great card.
That's a classic. and you'd have to get a really high grade for it to crack the $100 threshold too. So
for sure.
Yeah, I think I picked up a 6 for under $70.
Yeah, I remember. I mean, I had a 54 tops of the Big Clue way back before I went on this purge. I think I sold it for like $90, and that's a 7 and a 54. So that card is just collecting his cards. It's classic. I love that you showed that. Nice one.
Oh yeah, excellent choice.
I took the lead, Dylan.
What's that?
I took the lead now.
Not quite.
All right, now we're Dylan's fourth card.
Okay, fourth card. So I'm going modern on this one, and this represents, who broke Roger Maris's record, and you got Roger Maris on the card, and this one is also vintage as well, because this is the Topps Heritage 2023, and this is the 1974 Topps design, and this is the Hank Aaron special. They copied that design of the his home run record, and this is Roger Maris, October 1st, 1961, got 61 home runs, and then 61 years later, 61 years and 3 days later, October 4th, 2022, another Yankee comes up and breaks his record, which is just a classic. And this card there's 50 of these that exist. This was like $25, so in a 10. So it's not an expensive card. Really just a really cool card. And I love collecting classic designs on modern cards. And I got a modern and vintage player. So it goes perfectly with my home run collection. So that's what I got. Oh, and one more card for you, John. The one that I ran and got before we had all the show fell apart was one that you have a better center copy than me. And it's the Ernie Banks that you showed, the 68. Mine is way off centered. It's one of those I just chose to keep because I like to have a few examples. And this is a 9 OC. This thing was probably like $25 or something when I bought it. And
I can't believe you still own it.
Yeah, I'm keeping it. It's I like to have reminders and see cards, so I keep my vision straight and I know what I'm aiming for. I know what I look at, and if I'm missing something and holding these sharp cards. So there we go. I just had to show it.
Well, you have to keep different examples for your whole Dylan centering scoring system, right?
Yeah, that too. Exactly. This is like probably like a 30 or 20, 25 maybe.
All right.
Dylan, going back to your card, Dylan. I love anything that compares a new star to an old star. I just think that's such a cool
these
idea.
are sick. Yeah, I love these. Yeah, I'm with you too, David. Like, I really think it's cool. And then you add on the fact that it's a classic design, a vintage design. It just really, for a vintage collector like myself, and now collecting modern, it's like the trifecta.
Oh yeah, the whole heritage thing as a concept is just cool. Anyways,
it's really cool.
So hopefully, it's building future vintage collectors.
For sure.
So
you're up, John.
All right. So my last card in the sub 100 genre is another big slugger, another member of the 500 home run club. This would be a card that also is, a nod to Don's Field of Dreams as its kneeling player here. And that would be my 61 Willie McCovey, second year card for him. Come on, zoom in. Maybe I cover my face so it'll zoom better. There, focus. Excellent.
Dang, John, that one's nice. Look at you. Whew.
Yeah.
That's like
this one is a 6, and you can get a 6 in a 60s card for this one, second year. And it was like 60. So
wow.
It's beautiful. You stay away from those rookies. You can get beautiful cards for not a lot of money. So,
and those 61s are impossible, John. I sold. Well, I didn't sell part of my trade for my 1952 Bowman Mickey Mantle at the National in 2023 was that card you just showed. And I think it was a 6.5 or a 5.5, but it was slightly off centered, so I had to go. And that thing you got there, that's not easy to find centered in any grade, any way.
I was patient, waiting for one that was nicely centered. So
nice one.
And until I pounced.
McCovey definitely doesn't get the love because he played with Mays for so long. So
he is one of those overshadowed guys like Matthews for sure. So,
but he'll never be forgotten because of McCovey Cove. Like they named that after him. They didn't name it Willie Mays Cove or any other cove like Bonds Cove. No, it's McCovey Cove. Yeah. I think that's pretty awesome. That's a big
does help him be remembered, at least in San Francisco. So
yeah.
All right.
So now? Is this the voting time before we get to our number 5 to see who?
There's no voting, Dylan. This is not a competition. Like I said, everybody watching this, not a competition, no matter what Dylan is trying to do.
Did not know that.
So don't listen to Dylan. This is all for fun, all for just the love of the cards, not a competition. But this last card, we're up now. There is no price limit. It is whatever anybody wanted to choose from any card in their collection that they think it's worth saving up for. So first up is David.
John just says it's not a competition because he's going to lose. So vote in the comments.
Yes, put them in the comments.
But if you're going to save up some money and buy like a big card, get one of the no doubt greatest of all time type players. You can't go wrong with it. For me, one of my favorites that fits that bill is the 1953 Topps Willie Mays. It's a high number, so it's a little shorter printed than everything else in the set. It's got a great feeling pose of Mays on this card. And ones are around $1,000 if you get one that doesn't have a ton of paper loss, but definitely one of those candidates for a little get you some paper loss and save some money.
Hopefully it's on the back though.
Yeah, but on the back for sure.
That's an awesome card. And the short print, definitely drives the price up on that one. But
believe it or not, before YouTube, I didn't really like that card. I didn't like it. I didn't like how they did his face. I didn't like it. But now I really think it's just an awesome card. So it's so weird. And it's not because of YouTube. It's just how we changed a little bit and my taste changed. Now I love the card. I loved it.
Honestly, I think there's some hits and misses in that set artistically myself. So
I know
I'm never going to get past the Yogi Berra with the chiseled jawline that I call Yogi Zoolander. It's never going to appeal to me, but that's one of the good ones.
They drew Yogi like he is a superhero, and that's how they should, because he was a superhero. I mean, the guy was a legend. That's why they drew him so chiseled. He
looks more like a hobbit than he does, don't
knock on that guy. No knocking on Yogi, John.
Come on, I like how he looks. He's unique. Oh, bonus card.
Yeah. Bonus card. That's like my favorite Jackie card too. Like they did him right in that set for sure.
Yeah, they did. Yeah.
Oh yeah. All right, good cards there. Thank you, David. Scott, you're up.
All right. I actually went with non-baseball for mine, and I went with the rookie card of one Mr. Lou Alcindor, or Kareem. I actually picked this up at the National last year. First table I went to, and I saw this and just wasn't planning on buying it and had to have it. So this happened. I mean, this happens to only be a 1.5 because there's a little bit of paper loss right back here. Where am I going here? Right in here.
Perfect location.
Yeah, it's right in the bio area. So, but I know I was showing John Mangini this last year while we were in Cleveland, and he looked at this card and couldn't find out why it was a 1.5 until I showed him where that paper loss was, because it's just a little tiny bit. But yeah, no, I think this is rookie cards of some of the all-time greats, and Kareem is actually probably underrated as an all-time great in basketball. So, I mean, he's just kind of with the LeBron and Jordan thing. It's kind of gotten a little bit out of hand when you had people like Kareem out there for 20 plus years.
It is a little silly. I mean, I feel like with the basketball debate, how do you compare the centers to the wings players? I mean, it's not a equal comparison in the slightest. And that guy would have won 4 NCAA titles if he was allowed to, but they didn't let him play as a freshman back then. Could have come to the NBA straight out of high school if that was even a thing back then. He would have competed easily, but yeah, all 4 years of college, like everybody did at that point, and he was dominated.
Was definitely not a media favorite until later on in life, so that probably didn't help his cause.
Yeah, he was a bit angry, so didn't necessarily like how he was always treated, which is understandable, the era he was in. So, but yeah, definitely phenomenal. I mean, unfortunately, I only saw him as an old man on the court before I started watching basketball. He was at least 35, so, but he was still good. So, All right, good choice. Big card in more ways than one with the tall boy.
Yeah.
So,
well, Scott, if I was a basketball collector, that would be like on the top 10 list for me. I think that set in particular is just gorgeous, but that card's all time.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Well, I don't know. This card might be taller than Dylan.
Oh, it's a contest is on now, everybody. Now.
I think you're right there. I've stood next to Dylan, so it's pretty close.
I can't escape it. All right. So everybody out there in the chat, I know this is not a competition, but I want you guys all to vote. I'm going to read these. I'll read these chats as well. I'll read the comments. Whose collection was the coolest? Whose was the best? Who did it the best? Whose cards would you go after the most? Anything you want to put in there. I love that stuff. It's not a competition, but it's fun to hear what your favorite one, your favorite card, all that stuff. And I wanted to say that before I show my next card, because the next card is the best card on the show ever. So, it's the crown jewel of my entire collection, period. And it's the crown jewel of my 1961 home run record, like all home run record collection in my entire collection. It is the crown jewel for me. And once I share this, don't vote because I show this card. And this, just like in your own collection, you can create, like I did up here, the base, the all-star, leaders card, and any other card you want to go. You got to get an autograph version. And this one is 1961 Topps. Roger Maris autograph. When I saw this come up at auction, I had just sold my Mickey Mantle 1956 8OC, and I had plenty of money to play with, and I saw this pop up, and I had 7 days to figure out if what I was going to pay for it, and I did it all in my own brain, and I came up with the price. I look up comps. I said, this is what I'm willing to pay, and I won it for $300 less than I was willing to pay. It doesn't mean I got a good deal. It doesn't mean anything. I guaranteed I paid more than anyone's ever paid for this card. I just think it's magical. I think this might actually be the greatest Roger Maris autograph baseball card in the world. And when you include the centering, the image of the card itself, and the autograph where it's placed, what it looks like in ballpoint pen, to me, it's spectacular. And so I knew it was coming home with me, and I was so stoked I had money because I wouldn't be able to buy it if I came across it before. So that is my greatest. This is my crown jewel and in the collection. But I also wanted to share another card that goes along with this collection, and that is the Aaron Judge buyback. There's only 22 of these. I've told this story before. You can only get these. These were the buyback program, the first Topps ever did, and they bought them back from the collectors, and they had Judge sign 22 of them, put them in packs in 2023. So I got one of them, and that goes in my collection as well. So that's what I got.
Looks like both those things got written on. Do they got an MK for the grade? No?
Grade means nothing to me. I mean, yeah, you look at this, grades mean nothing. As you can see, this autograph is like an 8, and a card is the 7. So yeah,
Those are the second and third best Yankee autographs in this show.
oh, how dare you?
What are we sharing over here?
I just happen to have this one on my desk.
Oh,
A Tommy John autograph. So
Oh man, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know how you can compare a Tommy John autograph to any of these guys. Sorry, Scott. Good try though. Okay, you can
All
take
right.
me off the big screen.
to each their own. I'm not an autograph person, so I'm glad you're happy, Dylan.
Thank you.
That car's insane, dude.
Thank you.
that's an amazing card, though.
All right. Sticking with my sluggers theme, I went with another golden era card that actually is much cheaper than most people believe it to be. As I know when I was putting out my plan for what I was going to collect originally and gave my price estimate for this in a 4, I had multiple comments saying I underpriced it, and I actually paid $20 less in the end, and I got this thing for auction for $230, and it is the 1957 Topps Hank Aaron, which I did patiently wait for one that was neither snowy nor very OC, which is a common thread of many of these. The market for these that are perfectly nuts centered is nuts. As I've seen on VCP, someone paid $500 for a 4 that was just like perfect Dylan centering.
Well, that makes me feel good about my purchases for those.
So these are actually rare when it comes to finding them Dylan centered. So mine being close, made me feel decent about it. But yeah, this one only $230, and this was mine, and it wasn't that long ago. So it much more reasonably priced by far than his rookie card or second year card. This would be the 4th year card here for Hank Aaron, still very young, and the only one showing him hitting left-handed. So
awesome.
With this uncorrected reverse negative. But
yeah, and you can get that card relatively very inexpensive if it's off-centered, and most of them are. So you pick a super far off-center one, you could spend $100 on that card and get a really, really nice copy, in my opinion.
Oh yeah, if you don't mind it where it doesn't have a border on one side, which is many of the copies, they come a lot cheaper. So. But yeah,
Well done,
great
Don.
job. Great cards all around for everybody. Thank you for being on the show. Let's give everybody one last shot. Feel free, talk about your channel as well. I forgot that earlier. Let's go, David.
Scott and Dylan, it was great sharing the screen with you guys. John, thanks for having me as always. If you don't know me, which you probably don't, because I'm pretty small channel. I started in 2022 just as an avenue to kind of be extra involved in this YouTube card collection community. My collection, as you saw tonight, everything from pre-war baseball to ultra modern hockey, whole 9 yards, mostly Pittsburgh sports or like Hall of Famers, a lot of rookie cards and stuff like that. But yeah, if you're ever in the Pittsburgh area, hit me up. I'm never turned down sports games or golf rounds. So definitely check me out. Three Rivers Card Collector right there.
All right. Yeah, link will be down below in the description. Thank you, David. Scott, how about you?
No, it's been a pleasure here, getting to see Dylan again, and getting to meet David and John and you as well. and getting to show off some cards. It's been a while since I've made some videos. Hopefully this will kick me off making videos again. It's been a while. Used to be a little bit more prolific and haven't made any actually in probably a couple of years now. So it's been fun. It's great to see cards that you don't normally get to see all the time, and see how other people collect, and let people see how you collect when you're not around them all the time.
That's one of the fun things, is sharing cards with people who do more than your wife, who just says nod and says, "That's nice, dear." So,
do I have to pick a favorite again?
Or the dreaded, how much did that cost?
Oh man.
So
$3.
yeah, thanks for joining, Scott.
Right.
Once again, his link will be down below. Hopefully, we'll make more videos again. Yeah, I did notice you had one outlier. You made one 7 months ago, but yeah, it's been relatively dead for the last 2 years. So, Dylan, you're up.
Yeah, thanks for having me. It was really fun hanging out with all you guys. This is like my new favorite show, because it's purely just about the cards themselves. It's not even the value. It's literally about forming our own collections and giving ideas out to everybody and just getting inspired from each of us. I mean, I was blown away by a couple of your guys' choices, and it was extra fun. And John, when you brought that combo card out and the one you bought for me, and then I almost showed the one that I won from you from the same set. So all kinds of different things. This really came together really nicely, and I had an absolute blast. And I spent a lot of time thinking about it, and that's what cards and collecting is about. It's going deep in it and just having a great time and getting away from anything else in life and just going and diving in. So thanks, guys.
Well said. And with that, once again, if you've made it this far, you're probably in the company there of true collectors, and always give support to these other true collector channels here. And if you want to be on screen, don't pass up the opportunity. I won't bite. It's a fun experience. We'll work through it. And everybody out there, thank you for watching, and we will see you next time on For Collectors.
From the early days of baseball cards,
Babe Ruth.
People have been trading them back and forth.
McCovey's off the table.
We at For Collectors have been trying to carry on that tradition.
I can do that.
Okay.
That's a deal.
And now we're taking our show on the road. At the Strongsville Sports Collectors Convention, For Collectors, with support from a few of my favorite things, Love of the Game Auctions and SGC Grading, is hosting Vintage Trade Night at the Best Western Strongsville Ballroom on Saturday, April 12th from 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. With the help of our generous sponsors, admission is free and free pizza will be provided. Be there to join the fun.